Hello, welcome back to Up the Villa. Welcome to Transfer Hub. I don't think I've ever had a guest on a Transfer Hub. Don't know. How are you, Earl?
Yeah, I'm very well.
Privileged to be on Transfer Hub then. You've been promoted to the holy grail of transfer content. We're going to be chatting today about another player that could potentially be leaving Aston Villa, in Jacob Ramsey. We're going to have a look at Ramsey's underlying numbers as well. So, what are your thoughts on a potential sale of Ramsey? The rumour is coming out that Newcastle are interested again. You know, they've been interested in Ramsey before and they're back again. So, what are your thoughts on a potential departure of Ramsey from Aston Villa first?
Mixed feelings. My gut feeling is I don't like it. I don't know whether that's just me being sentimental, you know, because he's a Villa lad, isn't he? Yeah, especially Newcastle as well, because I think he'd do well at Newcastle. So I think that's a reason I don't like it as well. But yeah, I mean, you've got the obvious upsides in the PSR and financial era of football that we live in. You know, the pure profit and these sorts of things if you sell an academy graduate. We go back to the keep or sell episode we did a while ago. I had Ramsey as keep, because you know he's a club trained player, so you know can help out in terms of European squads. You know, allows us to have a bigger squad and these kind of things. And ultimately, I think he's got potential that he hasn't reached yet. I think he could be a lot better a player than what he's shown. So yeah, doesn't my fault. Bit 50-50 on it.
I mean, you had him in keep. I had him in sell. And you know, a lot of you know why I had him in sell, because I wanted to see more from him. I feel very much like we've only scratched the surface with him, and he's 24 now, and I just need to see more. And I look at this Villa system, especially on the left hand side, and I still don't believe that anybody has sort of made that position their own, like stamped it and gone, he plays there every single week. And I do think it's really interesting of what we actually want to get out of Ramsey as a player as well. And I think, like you say, I think he could go to Newcastle and he could do very, very well. I mean, we've got some graphics here now of actually the numbers behind Ramsey. And I think, and we're going to decipher these numbers then, because when I personally look at Ramsey and I look at what he does, and I look what he does on a 90 minutes, I think Emery really likes him defensively. I think he likes him. I think he trusts him. I think he knows he will follow out the plan of whatever that is. I think he'll know that, can you track back? Can you do your defending? Can you win the ball back? Can you keep the ball once you've got it? And you can see here from the stats, like ball winner, a 7. We've got ball retainer, an 8. Progressive passer, 8.8. I think that is all 8.6. My eyes are going. We've got progressive dribbler, 8.1. But then when I look at the other side, the side where I want to see more, I want to see him winning a game. I want to see him taking control of a game. I want to see him creating more. The numbers suggest that we don't get that from that player. And look at goal scoring, 0.9, volume shooter, 1.0, creator, 4.9, attacking passer, 4.7. You know, I want to see a player that's got the full package, and I don't think we see that. So what are your thoughts on the underlying numbers behind him?
Yeah, I think the big one for me is this one here, shooter. I don't think he shoots enough. I think there are times when I'm watching Villa, I think he'll get into position, and he just doesn't take the shot. You're not gonna score goals if you don't take enough shots. So I think with him, for me, that's the main thing in terms of creating. He's a little bit better, but yeah, it comes down to what is he really? He's probably not a winger. He plays for Villa as a wider midfielder. You wouldn't say he's a winger. But maybe is he more of like a centre mid in a midfield three, maybe, and maybe
is that why you think Newcastle are linked with him then? Because you look at Newcastle, you've got Gomes, you've got Tonali, and obviously they play with Jolinton. Now, if you had Ramsay in that three, you're kind of getting a bit of what they want, aren't you? Because I look at their midfield and yeah, it's creative, but when Jolinton's in there, he's the bit of muscle. I could really picture like Ramsay in that midfield because they are quite aggressive. Whereas with Villa, like you say, if we share my screen now and I show you this, like when he plays for Villa, we're saying left back offers width. So he's not the winger, but he's more of like he's having to do a bit of both, isn't he? He's having to go and attack, but he's having to, sometimes do that defensive work and cover a left back that's gone forward. So is it the system that might not suit him in the sense of the role he's having to do? Because if he was in a flat three there and this left back just goes up and down, and then they are going to play with, say, I don't know, like a left winger that's going to, he's kind of got more of like a platform to just and have that support, hasn't he? But again, is that just making an excuse saying like the system doesn't suit him? Should he not find a way to excel in it at the same time? Or am I being a bit critical of him?
I think it's a bit of both. I wouldn't say the system doesn't suit him, but I think he actually does what Emery wants him to do a lot of the time. Like we were saying earlier, like, he's keeping hold of the ball, progressive passes, progressive dribbles. His totals might not look high if you look on websites like FBref, maybe these sorts of things. But if you compare the number of touches that he has to the number of progressive passes that he makes, the number of progressive carries that he makes is actually quite high for the amount of touches that he gets. So, I don't know if you say it doesn't fit the system, because I think he does the job that Emery wants him to do at times, but he's maybe not that attacking winger that Villa fans want or we need at times as well. So I think we brought in Rashford this season, and he was kind of the when everyone was fit, let's say, he had that left wing spot. He was on the touchline doing things that we'd expect a winger to do, and then maybe in game states where you want to hold on to a lead or add a bit more defensive strength and build up, then he'd bring on Ramsay on as a different kind of look. So yeah, it's for me, it's like I say with the question with Ramsay, like what is he? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think I'm the same, really. I think it all merges into a bit of everything, really. I think personally, I'd like to just see a bit more from him, like a bit more, like for example, like if we're in the trenches a little bit, is he going to get us out of it? And I don't think he's that type of player that's going to do that. And I think, we're going to start moving into a area next season, especially where we're sort of into like Emery's third season, third season really. So we really need to, like, what I'm trying to say is get to sort of edging towards the finished article, and I do think we need more from him. So if he does stay, then obviously I'll get behind him, back him, etc. But I do think we need to see especially more from him, because I do personally think he does disappear in games. So
I think he's got time. I think he's got time.
Yeah.
He's what is he, 23, 24? Has he just turned 24? Can't remember. So it's, when you talk about players, you talk about 25, 26, 27 being, even 28 being the prime years for footballers. So yeah, I mean he's getting close to it. 24. It's time now where he really needs to step it up. But yeah, I think he can. I think just before the big injury, I thought he was so good. He was so good before that, and that injury just completely derailed the progress for me. But yeah, I just really hope he can get back to it, because I do really like him as a player, and then obviously a Villa lad himself.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to hear what you guys think at home, your thoughts, etc. So a little bit of Ramsay. We've got an episode that'll be coming out tomorrow where me and Earl will find Villa's next right winger. So thanks everyone for watching. Up the Villa. Right, thank you, mate.